Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da.
I'm Tanya,
And I'm Nikki.
and we're 1,000 Eyes and One, the podcast.
Podcast.
Some more Wheel of Time. We had such a great time talking about episode 1.
Because it was awesome.
It was such a great start. And so now we have episode 2, season 3, episode 2, A Question of Crimson.
For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at 1,000 Eyes and One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are 1,000 Eyes and One on Instagram and Facebook, 1,000 Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.
What do we got to talk about what these titles mean?
Yeah, we could just do a whole extras episode about it.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you were watching Game of Thrones? Because
Yes.
I did.
Yes. Yes. So we opened 20 years ago with pregnant Morghese. She's pregnant with Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I wrote down that it was giving Cersei if Cersei was smart.
Yes. And that was my thought exactly. I was like, look at House Lannister. Are we at Casterly Rock? And also, like, I know that we're doing ancient things or whatever, but can we just get a lion in a different pose? Like, I'm so sick of, like, the lion rearing up into the fold. Like, okay, this is cool. But not only did they kill, like, all the leaders, they killed all the women. Like, any heir. I'm kind of here for it.
Any heir. But, you know, when the leaders kneeled.
Oh, the way the first one said her name, I was like, did she put cunt at the end of that? Because it sounded like she said cunt. Just like the way that they spit it out, and like every syllable was just dripping with contempt. Yeah.
So she knew. She was like, nope, I'm not doing this again. Another thing that stood out to me that's completely like a vanity thing. Her hair looked so bad.
Dude, all the wigs in this episode are kind of trash. All the blonde wigs in this episode are kind of trash.
I noticed it with Elaine's wig too later.
Yeah.
Like it needed to be trimmed.
It needed a lot of things, like trimmed, deep conditioned.
I was looking at Morghese's wig. Well, I wasn't thinking it of it as a wig, but I was like, Morghese's hair is not hair that I would expect a queen to have while she's addressing her court. It could look like she just woke up.
Especially when I've heard that pregnancy hair is like always super lush and shimmery.
It is. My hair was amazing when I was pregnant. It was so shiny and fluffy, and she looked kind of bedraggled. And like, I get that she's very pregnant, but she's also a queen with like handmaidens.
Yeah, and sure, she's like about to, murder everybody, and they've come to the end of a succession war. But like, more reason to walk out fly.
Yeah, you could have dressed up for this.
Yeah, although I did my other thing. My first actual note here was like, this episode is a cosplay goldmine. I cannot wait.
You know what she reminded me of with that big collar was the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah. I love the shape of it. I wonder how heavy those costumes are.
It was so extra. The queen has arrived to Tar Valon.
I love that she made her wait, because you don't rule these parts, lady.
Right.
I love how antsy she was getting too, because she looked over at her consort and he was like,
And inside, Lyanna is looking at Suan, and Suan's giving her the shaking her head no, like not yet.
She's like smoothing out her stuff, looking at her nails. Yes.
I noticed that Lyanna didn't know who Gabriel was, and later on, even Elaine kind of looks at him for a second and is like hesitant, and it's like, oh yeah, Gabriel.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you get no respect, huh, Gabriel?
Yeah. I mean, their reactions to him, like, I got a little bit of surprise, but also like, I think he gets around. I feel like this might not be his first consort role, and I like that about him. And I we can talk about him more later, but I do look forward to seeing more of him. I hope.
We also get Elida, played by this wonderful actress whose name I never learned how to pronounce, so I'm not gonna butcher it.
I love her.
with the
So
super
much.
deep voice.
Yes. The first time I encountered her was in The Expanse. And as soon as
Same.
I heard her open her mouth, I was like, who is this woman? I am obsessed.
She plays a dragon in a movie I watched. And like I remember hearing it and I kept thinking that the dragon was her and then like I looked it up and it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's fantastic. I've seen her in some other things.
Yeah.
And I knew she was gonna be in the season because I kept seeing like articles and stuff about it.
Yeah. I think it's like Shore Adeshalu. Adeshalu. And I love her because every time I see her, I think Navani Colin.
Mm,
Like that's who I would cast as Navani Colin.
that's interesting. There's another not power struggle. This respectability push between
Mm-hmm.
Suan and Morghese as like the queen, but the Amerlin seat, and
Yeah.
who's really in charge here.
Real quick before we move on from Elida, I loved watching the Red Aja like kind of look at each other like, oh shit, is she
Elida's back.
really here? Yeah, that was like I'm the I this so far like sure this is the second episode, but the way that they're setting up just the power struggles between people and like establishing tension and uncertainty is really like making my intrigue heartbeat faster.
Yeah, it's very tense.
Hmm.
Do you want to continue to talk about
Yeah.
Morghese and Suan?
Yeah. She's like, not in my house. You're not going to address me by my name, by my title. You may
Like
be a
it's
queen, but
mother
you
to
are
you.
still a daughter.
Right. While you wear that ring and you stand in this hall, I am mother.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if I don't have kids because all of you are my daughters. Well, there's like a rap lyric about how
Yeah.
being my all of y'all are my sons, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
pretty much she's
exactly
like
what I thought of.
all of y'all are my daughters.
But once they're in private,
Yeah,
they're more cool. And she's like,
yeah,
"Oh, we have to put on a show,
yeah, exactly.
the power show." She's
Mm-hmm.
hiding the Black Aja attack from her. And I wonder if it's because, well, Suan doesn't know who she can trust.
Yeah, I think
And that
that has a
includes
lot to do with it.
Morghese. And Morghese may not be a dark friend, but she doesn't know that. And she doesn't know if Elida is Black Aja because how many people shocked her
Yep,
in the
exactly.
previous episode.
Exactly. And if she talks to them about Black Aja still being there, like she's obviously going to tell Elida, and the people who are still Black Aja in the castle will get wind of that, you know? And who knows what
Right.
will happen if they feel threatened.
And there's no way to hide that there was something that happened. So yes, she gave her that there was a dark friend in the tower.
Yep.
Give up Leandrin, but maybe not mention that there was a whole lot of them
A contingent.
in every Aja.
Man. Yeah. I'm really impressed that everybody kept their mouths shut
Mm-hmm.
because the thing that I am no, I guess they are the servants because I was like, because I know the novices are doing they do a lot of service and they're cleaning and stuff, but there are other servants in the tower, and how are they keeping them from not saying anything? Because if I was Elida, I'd be like, hey,
Well,
handmaiden chick.
there wouldn't have been any servants up in the hall because um they barely even allowed the other Ajas there. It was just the sitters and some of the Ajas and the warders. We never saw any servants in any part over there.
Right.
So servants may not know exactly what happened. They may have known there was some type of like big fight between
They're just
sisters,
bringing
but
bodies out.
right, but they don't know like exactly what happened
Yeah.
because word hasn't gotten around Tarvalon
Yeah. Like how scared would you be?
with an Aes Sedai fight.
Yeah, well, if you just knew that there was a massive Aes Sedai fight, because yeah, you don't know what happened. It could
But a
be
lady got split in
a
half.
lady got split in half, right? And like parts of towers fell down, and everybody could see the smoke and stuff coming from up there. So maybe you're like, all right, there was a fire in the
They were
kitchen.
like, girl fight.
So look at those novices fucking it up again. Ah, I hope she makes it. I hope she passes her test. Yeah,
Do you think that Elida is a threat?
man, I have a couple thoughts about her. I would love it if she was kind of a threat. I don't think that she's Black Aja. I think that the way that they keep leading us to believe one thing, and what does Archer say? Classic misdirection. I feel like I want to distrust her. I have like a little bit of apprehension, but I love the actress so much that I'm like, I don't know. I do think she's got her own ideas, and I do think that she's going to, like, we find out later that she does still have a lot of support in the tower, and that she almost got that position.
Yeah.
So she was
Says
almost
her
the
and Siwan
Amberlin.
have like history.
A little cute little rivalry going on. But um in a perfect world, I can see her, because we talked last time about, I think that Shuan is going to die this season, and I could see her ascending. But I would really love to see them working together and being just like, imagine both of them in battle. Like, what does that look like with that
Oh,
much power?
I
Oh,
would
my nipples
love
got
that.
hard. I want to see that so much. So I'm reserving judgment. I think that she's absolutely gonna report back to Morghese. I think that she's gonna keep a close eye on Elaine and Shuan, and I think she's gonna keep digging. Um, because I'd be really interested to know, like, if there are Black Aja sisters still within the Reds, do they cozy up to her and try to like feel her out, like where she is, because they don't know.
Right.
Because if I was Leandrin, I wouldn't tell them about her.
What, that Elida, if
That
Elida was Black Aja, you
Yeah,
wouldn't. Right.
no, I would keep that to myself.
Yeah, that would make sense. Let's talk some more about Elaine.
Elaine, I love her. I
She's
do.
really sweet.
I'm very fond of her. Um, no, her brothers are back. That's really cute. That's their baby
Galad
sisters. Is
is,
that the older one?
yes, he is fine.
He is fine. The other one's a little doofy to me, but like,
Yeah, he looks like
ooh.
a Prince Charming, like caricature drawing.
Yeah, in Wart and Sword of the Stone, it looks like him if he grew up.
But Galad,
Yeah.
Galad is something.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about him. Yeah, with the little purr in the back of the throat. Three meows and a purr for him. Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see them sitting around there and to see that the sibling relationship, to see that they're really protective of her, that they
Hmm.
think that they could have done a better job and that none of this would have happened if we were here and mother let us like be here um all at the same time. Which I find to be incredibly naive. I can't wait to see them
Yeah,
actually tested,
yeah.
because like, I mean, as we all know from Stormlight Archive, sparring is not battle.
It is not battle.
You're
And
never prepared for that.
doing backflips and blowing kisses and all of that stuff was so ridiculous. It was so over the top.
So
And
over
those
the top.
girls were swooning. I would have been swooning too.
I mean, like, because especially the novices, because they don't have warders, not yet.
Mm-mm.
So what? Well, I'll say this about the brothers, Galad and other brother, the
Gawain.
one other brother, is that this episode made me think back, like, the Aes Sedai, nobody's taking any vows of celibacy. Like, they're not saying like lock the pussy
Mm-mm.
down. They're like, do what you want. Just keep your other vows and these things, but like, you know, bust it wide open if you feel like it.
Be gay,
Which
do crime.
be gay, do crime, like love each other, love everyone. And I really like that about them because they're so rigid in so many other ways. So I
Yeah.
enjoy the sexual freedom and positivity that we're experiencing in this world, like in a really big way.
Elaine and Morghese meet up and they talk. And Elaine is tight lipped even with her mom.
Mm-hmm. And her mom tries to play those mommy games.
Uh huh.
Like, oh, you mean you're not gonna tell me? Okay, all right. I know that you're in
I see
here.
where I stand in the pecking order.
Mm-hmm. And all right, I guess you have to play the little games while you're here in this cute little tower. It's fine. It's fine. Like, I would probably do the same thing if I were you. I remember this. I remember what this was like when I was your age, being
Mm-hmm.
here. Um, and I was like, Elaine is really smart. Like, you didn't raise a dummy.
Yeah.
So that's what you get for not raising a dummy.
She's the anti Sansa, you know? The noble girl who's like actually raised to know about intrigue and like, you know what
I
I
love
mean?
I love this as an archetype, an anti Sansa.
Yeah, because like remember how much we complained that Catelyn didn't prepare Sansa for the world at all.
At
Catelyn is
all.
this like diplomat, and who
Mm-hmm.
knows how to work her way through the different houses and the courts and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And like Sansa had none of that. But here we have Morghese, who well is obviously far more ruthless than a Catelyn. But we see that Elaine is also aware of plots and plans and kind of knows how things work. Elaine
Yeah.
wants to be the first Aes Sedai queen.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think I realized that Morghese wasn't a full Aes Sedai. And it makes me wonder, like, how many people just get that ring and bounce?
In the last season, Elaine mentioned spending like 6 summers there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tradition for the daughter heir to spend time
Right.
in the tower. And then we know she gets an honorary ring and then goes back to rule. So like
Yeah.
all of the queens, well, I don't know how far back this tradition goes. We know that Queen Morghese did it.
Would you be satisfied with an honorary ring?
No.
No, I want the full thing. Give me the fucking stone.
But at the same time, I understand not wanting your heir to go through the arches and possibly
That's
lose your
true.
heir.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
that's too big a risk because they don't all make it back out.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So better to get to just before accepted, get your ring and go home. So now you can use your powers if you have them. Maybe use them enough to not accidentally kill yourself. Have
Right.
some control, like the woman in season 1.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She
Right,
was
right.
able to use the power. She wasn't as powerful as a full Aes Sedai. And obviously, we see she took too much power and accidentally burned herself inside out. But
But
she did have power. She did have control over it, although she didn't have a full Aes Sedai
right.
stone in her
Yeah.
ring.
Well, I love that Elaine has her own goals because we know that Elaine is playing the game. We know that she's sowing her seeds. She did tell Rand that they will that the dragon will always have a friend in Andor.
Hmm.
But I'm just like, not that I was expecting her to like cave into her mother's demands because she is a really strong person, and like Egwene, she's been through it.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know what? If all of these things happen to me, I need to make it worth it, and I need to earn it, which I really really love and respect about her. But I also think it's to her advantage in so many ways to continue with the training because she wants to know what's going on in the tower. She wants to help her sisters. She wants to help the dragon, and
And
you
she
know,
has. Like she
and she
told her
has.
mother, I fought
Yeah,
a Forsaken and I healed the dragon reborn.
yeah,
That's big.
yep.
And she did this as a novice who had
As
been
a
kidnapped.
novice. Yeah. So I like Elaine. I'm very excited to see her path forward, and I'm looking forward to her getting even stronger as the series goes on, and just seeing what other kind of the other things that she's able to do because uh, her mom also tells her that Suan is like, hey, she is very powerful,
Hmm.
and what more do you want in a queen? And Elaine tells her mom, all roads lead back to Andor.
What do you think about an Aes Sedai queen?
I'm here for it. I'm
Do
here
you think
for
the
it.
people would
But
be for it?
I don't know what the perception of Aes Sedai is in Andor. So that I would have to know more about before I comment on it. But in these changing times, I would probably look forward to somebody with that much power. But then my question is, who is your real loyalty to at that point?
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is I would worry about loyalty. There can't be
Loyalty,
that bad of a
loyalty,
perception
loyalty.
if they've had an Aes Sedai advisor for over 1,000 years. So the perception of the Aes Sedai in Andor can't be that bad.
Like,
But we
imagine
also,
having the most powerful army in the world and an Aes Sedai queen.
right.
And also, what's to keep you from having your own little army of Aes Sedai as an Aes Sedai queen? That's what I would be worried about if I were the Amerlin seat.
Yeah. It could be very dangerous for the Amerlin seat. What if our Aes Sedai queen became the Amerlin
Mm-hmm.
and united the two?
Ooh.
That would be terrifying. I think that's when they would take a hit out on her. Because we do have people who call them Tarvalon witches, not just the White Cloaks.
Yeah, yeah.
There are people who don't like Aes Sedai.
Yeah, and we haven't really spoken about the white cloaks because we're going to get to it a little bit later in this episode. But if they've heard about the reborn halfway across the world, then the commoners and regular ass people have also heard about it. Does that increase the influence? Does that make you more likely to want to like have the white cloaks in your spot? You know, if you already think of them as Aes Sedai witches and you're like, oh man, I love these white cloaks. Like, just come hang out in our town because terrible things are happening and you're the only ones who could protect us.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine tries on her future crown and has a drink with Gabriel.
I've
What
been
do you
meaning
think
to
about their
ask you.
interactions? Yes.
Well, I'll talk about their interaction in a second, but as soon as I saw the crown, I was like, what is Tanya going to think about the shape of this crown? Because I've never seen anything like that before.
It only works with that French twist updo. Otherwise, it just looks like a backwards crown to me.
That's what I thought. I was like, I've never seen anything like that.
So it's like
Like, what is
you have to
this?
be committed to a French twist
Yeah.
if you're gonna wear that crown.
I love the intricacy of it.
Although I
Um,
feel like if you're gonna make it higher in the back, then it needs to be more dramatic.
mm-hmm.
Like make
Yeah.
it way higher and like wider
Yeah.
so that it's like a halo.
It's that so when you exit the room that you're giving a show as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I have new crown goals.
Yeah, no, I need to learn how to work metal.
There are those blacksmithing classes. We should go.
We should do that.
I've been really excited to do that. Um, I like Gabriel. His name's Gabriel.
Gabriel.
I like Gabriel. I I can see that he does hold genuine affection for all the children, even though he's fucking annoyed by the boys. Um, I like his relationship with Elaine. I enjoyed learning that they just drink a lot when they're at home together, and that's why she could pound drinks with the best of them. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a high tolerance girl. I love that. Part of me was like, am I supposed to be suspicious of the information that he's giving to her, that he says her mom won't do it? But because I'm sure that there's intrigue in his bones too. Otherwise, he wouldn't be where he is, right?
Right.
Unless he's
And
just slinging
also,
that good dick.
and like, he wasn't even remembered at first by Leanne.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed Elaine almost forgot who he was. So he's not that important.
Maybe not that important, but if I was him, I would want my position to be secure. So I would tell Elaine about what's going on because if she's going to be the future ruler, I want to be in her good graces. And I would love to keep, you know, banging the queen and enjoying all these things. And after the queen is gone, if I'm still here, I want
To be like the
her
father
heir to
figure.
the father figure, but also for the heir to remember that I helped when
Mm-hmm.
times were getting hard. So I do really like him.
Well, Morghese is facing challenges at home, according to Gabriel, and she has dismissed Captain General Brine. And the fact that they named him means we're
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to meet him. And I'm ready for the backstory about
Mm-hmm.
Captain General Brine and who he is and why he was dismissed.
And where he goes after this.
And what exactly are these challenges that Morghese is facing at home?
And what happens when you dismiss a captain general? Because we know that soldiers like to follow their leaders.
And that's how you set up a coup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see more of their relationship. I know he's gonna leave, but I would also love to be in the bedchambers of Morghese and Gabriel, because not because I want to see the sex stuff. I just want to hear their conversations, because they love each other too. Like, you can see that when he walks out in the way that they embrace.
Hmm.
Um, so that's not fake. That's for real too. And I'd like to know how much she keeps him in on the plans, um, and what he thinks about, because this is not a military man
No,
by any
clearly.
by any stretch of the words. But he's not a military man, like, by any means. And if I were the captain general, I'd kidnap him.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd kidnap him. And while he might be like, okay, this is disposable, he's not like influential. Like, it would be something, like, it would be a test to see, like, how does Morghese react to that? Like, does she
Yeah.
go, oh my god, no, and, like, full crazy, or does she say, whatever, we talked about this, we knew it was a possibility?
Yeah. We need some background on him.
Yeah, I want to see their army too.
Let's talk about the boys some more. Gawain and Galad and their little fight out on the sand.
It was
Poor
very
Matt,
hot.
who's
Matt.
smashing serving girls and walking around with the horn, has now.
Serving girls, novices, everyone, like everyone, and everybody loves him with the horn. And then he was like, "Oh shit, I'm not a soldier. Like, I haven't been trained." Although, if I was Matt when I got there, given the blowing the horn and the battle and stuff that he had to face, and the way that he was, like, the memories of being able to fight, I would be backing those up. Like, let's get these on the hard
Yeah,
drive
he
for
should be
real.
training, right?
He should be
Instead of like
training.
laying about and smashing serving girls.
Especially, it's like in the Matrix, where Keanu Reeves is like, "Oh, I know kung fu," right? Like, suddenly you have, if you have access to these memories, why not use those to your advantage? Even though you can't control when or why they happen, why not train?
Yeah,
You're just walking around the tower being drunk. Like, you could do that after training. They're still
right.
gonna smash.
But I think it's funny that the other girl came in and was like, "Put that thing down. The princes are here." And it's like that thing, the Horn of Valere.
The Horn of Valere. But the way that Matt was like, "Oh, ask, tell your friend to tell my friend, we can be friends." And then he's like, "Oh, and the brothers too. Okay, y'all are about it."
He was
Yeah,
so jealous. He
so
was so
jealous.
jealous.
Like, I liked when he says to Elaine and to Nynaeve, he's like, "I can't believe you go in for that sort of thing," and she's like, "Everybody
Right.
goes
She's
in
like,
for
"Bro,
this
I have
sort of thing."
eyes."
And it's not just the women. There are men who are watching too, and they're like, "Wow, look at this display," which is
Yeah.
really all it is.
Yeah, it's a display. They know what they were doing
They know what
shirtless
they're.
out there. I
Ugh.
mean, Gawain literally blows a kiss. Like he knows what he's doing.
What a spectacle.
It was such a spectacle, and I honestly loved it.
I'm
Like,
gonna watch
yes,
it 4 more
princes.
times.
This is what Sansa thought Joffrey was.
Yeah. And Min sees him and she's like, "Oh, okay. Okay," with her little flask.
Yeah, she's just like, all right, cool, but she wasn't swooning.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I wonder what she was seeing there. Like, what does Min see as she's watching these things?
Yeah, that's
Since she's
yeah.
taken ATM.
And there we have it. A
Again.
Sanderson reference.
I mean, I did think of Adel sparring and stuff, obviously. And I love a spar. I really do.
Let's talk about Min. Min is pretending to be a servant. She's our
Min
little
is in.
spy, which
Mhm.
Lyanna does not like.
Nope.
Lyanna is not into this plan at all.
At all. And she says it. So I have a question. I don't want to say that Suan was actively dismissive of Leanne, but I would be really careful about the way that I treat the people around me at this point.
Yeah.
Especially someone who's so powerful, and especially who's someone who, like, just walks around with a Tarangriel for
And who's so
because it's
close
part
to
of her
you, the
outfit.
one person who can just be with you all the time.
Yeah.
Also, I love Lan's outfit, that coat she wears. I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gorgeous.
I do too.
In the book, she's supposed to be like super sexy.
Oh yeah?
She's Damani, and like in their culture, the women are taught to seduce.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, so she's like this very capable of being a sexy seductress.
I hope we see that in the future.
I hope so too, because the actress who plays Liana is gorgeous.
Love.
They have a
Wow.
lot of good looking people.
They do have a lot of good, like, especially for a fantasy thing, like, usually it's just the leads, like the
Yeah.
leads you lust over, but everybody in here is kind of fine. So shout out to the casting director.
Yeah. Like they put out a call and they're like, if you are gorgeous, we don't care race, we don't care gender, just be gorgeous and
Just be
show
hot
up.
and like look good on camera.
Yeah.
That's it. Be photogenic and gorgeous. Um, and I want to know the things that are going on in her head. She's such an interesting character to me because we see so little, and all we get from her are her reactions to what's going on around her, but we don't get what's going on inside of her mind.
And we don't know a lot about her. What
Mm-mm.
I mentioned about her being Damani, that's something I know from the book.
Yeah.
We don't really learn much about her.
Yeah.
We don't know. I assumed she was Blue Aja, but I don't know if that's confirmed.
Why blue Aja? Because I would maybe want green next to me.
I assumed only because Suan was blue and because I saw her
Uh-huh.
wearing blue. But that
Got
doesn't
it.
mean anything because she's the keeper. So
Right.
she could be wearing whatever. And she's not always in blue. It's just one time I saw her in blue and was like, is she Blue Aja? But
Got
yes,
it.
I would want a green Aja because, battle Aja. I would
Yeah.
want a green Aja with me at all times. But also, we don't know, how is the keeper chosen? Is
Oh,
there
I
like a
would love to
vote?
know that.
Is there like a vote, or does Suan choose her own keeper like a vice president?
Mm,
Or does the tower choose the keeper?
that would be really cool. I would.
So
Oh, if I want to know, do they talk about that in the books?
I don't remember.
Oh man, if it's not a spoiler, tell us in the comments. I'd never even thought about that.
Yeah, I want to know how the keeper is chosen.
Oh, that's so exciting! I just I perked up so much thinking about this. Wow. But no, she doesn't like the idea of Min being there. And Min's like, listen, y'all, my visions don't come with the clock. What I just saw dead Aes Sedai, 9 at least, and it's gonna be a problem. She
Yeah,
didn't
the
say what
battle.
color they were though.
No, she didn't. And the battle that they just had is not the battle.
Not the battle. It's not the battle, so we have something to look forward to. Um, Suan does say to Morghese, like, listen, we don't want that smoke. She's like, oh, take care of my kid or else I will be back with my army. And Suan was like, no, 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 we don't want that. We would never want that. But then it made me think, what can a tower of Aes Sedai do to an army?
Right.
Right? Like, who's really in trouble here?
Right. Like, we're not talking about a handful of Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
You're talking about marching on the tower itself.
Marching on the tower itself.
They
And
could
it's
stand
just
on the
like,
ramparts and rip you apart.
just so easily. And, I'm thinking about all the scenes that we've seen where people are linked. Like, Siobhan could just be like, link with me, daughters, and take the power of every single person in that tower and just be like, pff.
Season 1, look how she took out all of those, not Suan, the other non-Aes Sedai. I can't remember her name. But look how she took out all of those Trollocs.
Yeah.
When she linked with like 6 women.
And she wasn't even a
And
full
she
Aes
wasn't
Sedai.
even a full Aes Sedai.
So, like, we'll play this game in public. Yeah. But I am excited to see what Min's up to. And when Min comes to Matt's room.
Yes,
Poor Maddie Matt can't
she comes
sleep
to
because
get
he's
him.
getting banged on both sides.
You know what's funny? I was expecting Galad to be the one who's like more serious. I think because in the books he is.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting Galad to also be smashing serving girls. I thought that was gonna be
Right.
like a Gawain thing, and that Galad's like, oh, my little brother. But
Yeah.
no, they were both getting it in.
I mean,
They
but
were
like,
going
how
for
could
it.
you resist if you have an entire tower of novices lusting after you? Like, you
It's
need
probably
a
not just the
calendar.
novices.
It's true. Ooh, that's right. Yeah. I feel like Alana would have invited them into the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot his name, but he would have been down too.
Maxim.
Maxim and Alana and Galad threesome. Fingers crossed.
Sounds like some fanfic.
Yum, yum, yum.
Well, Min comes to get Matt and the horn to bring him to Suan. And I loved how Suan didn't even delicately manipulate him. She
Mm-mm.
very heavy-handedly manipulated him into giving her the horn.
Mm-hmm. And when he walks in there, he was like, "Oh, Your Majesty." Don't,
Your
yeah,
Majesty.
it was me. I know, I know. And then she just like, you just see him like sinking further and further down in his seat, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, I have really been stupid. Thank God I'm in the tower,
Mm-hmm. Yes, please hold this horn for me.
and babysit me while you're at it."
And so we learn whoever blows the horn is now the only person who can use it. And
Mm-hmm.
Rand was supposed to blow the horn at the last battle.
Right.
So what does this mean for Matt? Is Matt going to be at the last battle, or is Matt going to die before the last battle?
Yeah.
Or is she just going to kill Matt so Rand can have the horn?
Ooh, that's some ruthless shit.
It is some ruthless shit, but it seems like you kind of got to be ruthless right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Whew.
don't think Rand would want to see Matt killed,
No.
but
No, but
if
she
the
can't
whole
lie. If she's the reason that he's killed, she can't lie about
she
it.
can't lie. But if the prophecy says that Rand blows the horn at the last battle and brings forth the heroes of
Mm-hmm.
whatever, then
Heroes of the Horn.
that means that has to happen, right? So far, like it's the prophecies are coming true.
It's so funny. It's like Matt was out there in these streets basically painting his own bounty poster.
Yes, yes, he was. Because remember, these are people who heard that if you find the horn, you get half of the queen's wealth, the other queen in
Mm-hmm.
Carrion, or whatever that person was, that you get half their wealth.
I wonder if they know though that if you're, because it seems like is that common knowledge that only the person who has it can blow it,
I don't think so.
who's alive, right? So
Yeah, I don't
somebody
think
would
so.
steal it and just be like, you
But
know,
maybe it is. I don't know.
huh? I'd love
Or
to know
maybe
that.
they just know that if you have the horn, you can get that wealth.
Yeah.
Or but it's also like a legendary horn, so maybe they do know that whoever blows it owns it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how much they know.
Huh. Yeah.
But
Fun
yeah,
that.
I think Matt blowing that horn may have signed his own death warrant.
Look at him getting like castrated 3 times in a row.
What?
It's just like you're like all the girls who used to come to your room are like on both, like you're in the middle of a sexless sandwich. And then like the thing that like helped you reclaim your manhood is taken from you. So now what do you have? You know what you have? A 5 a.m. a date with the trading, with the master of arms or
That and
mistress
just
of
like
arms.
mental illness.
Which they couldn't heal. They tried.
Did you realize who that was? Rima?
Uh, she was from early. Yeah, yeah, the woman that they found earlier that was going through the things in season 2, which is
Yes, I was
super
so
vague.
excited to see her. Yeah, that was extremely vague.
Yeah.
But she was the Aes Sedai that they met near
Yes.
Falm, who was taken by the Sanchin
Yes, that
and
was
her
helping them
warder
hide.
killed.
Yes,
Yes, helping them plot.
Elaine, and Nynaeve were like walking around. She's like, "Oh my God, did you guys just yell to everybody that you were here? You're terrible at sneaking around." They're like,
Yeah.
"Sneak, sneak, 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 sneak."
So I was happy to see Rima survived,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe we'll get more of her because I liked her, and I
me
was like,
too.
man, that was fast that
Yeah.
she gets collared and taken away. So I was happy to see she survived. She looks good. She's back
Mm-hmm.
in the tower. I don't know if she has a new warder yet.
Hmm. Shawanna's like, "Hey, hey, girlies, did you get my letter come through? Don't worry, nobody's gonna know that you were here, because I sent it with Min. Min is the one who delivered it,
No,
and
it wasn't Min.
oh, sorry, who
It
was
was
it?
another novice, like a random novice.
Oh, right. So Shuan's like, "Hey, girlies, come in. Did you get my note?" The novice delivers it, and then she gets there. The girls get there, and there's nobody guarding the door.
Right. Because she
Although,
doesn't even know if she can trust Liana.
yeah, that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me.
I can't imagine being that fearful.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, rightfully so.
But
Even
right,
though Liana defended her.
yeah, but like it's so funny because I hadn't made this connection. Like before they come in, she puts that little letter in that chest, and then she
Hmm.
just locks it with the weave. And I'm like, so I guess if anybody really came in, you know, she could just be like zip zip zap zap and restrain them.
Yeah, I mean, she is very. I mean, unless it's like what, six sisters it takes to steal somebody.
Yeah, which she would hear coming, I'm sure.
Why doesn't the Amerlin have a warder? Shouldn't the Amerlin have like six warders?
Hmm. I don't know why she doesn't.
Seems the Amerlin and the Keeper do not have warders. But I feel like that'd be the
Maybe
perfect
that,
person.
but maybe that's what makes their jobs easier for them. You know, like no attachments to anybody.
That's true.
Because you see how Alana, like, basically her will to fight collapsed and just like or evaporated as soon as Ivan died. You know,
Yeah.
like they could have been killed right then.
Yeah.
Leandrin was like, ha ha ha. She could have killed them right then, but she's like, nope, leave them with that pain. So maybe it just makes them more vulnerable, and they're like, nope, we're not doing that. And that where their loyalties are like to the tower and to the Amerlin seat.
I would just think for simple protection reasons to have Aes Sedai and warders protecting the Amerlin. But maybe the Amerlin has never needed protection because they've never been attacked by Black Aja before. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Oh
Like
my
the Amerlin
goodness.
Secret Service.
Or maybe there is, and they're just off training. We've had no need to see them yet.
Well, no, because they would have been out, they would have been by that hall.
Or in that place. I would have put them with the artifacts.
Hmm. But I mean, it was hidden behind a wall
Yeah.
that people didn't even know if it really existed. Swan doesn't know who to trust except Elaine and Nynaeve because they're the only people that she's certain are not dark friends.
Yeah. Imagine that. Like
And like Moiraine.
these two novices. Although they're both really powerful. Although
They are very
one is
powerful.
useless.
Half trained girls, as she calls them.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wants Elaine to go through the arches so she can be accepted so she can leave.
Yeah.
I love that she's still following the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't want everything to just go into collapse. She wants
Yeah.
to keep some normalcy.
These are the times to maintain order because that's where people find comfort and reassurance.
Hmm.
You need that stability in times like these.
Yeah. Well, now Elaine and Nynaeve are the Black Aja hunters.
And also, it's like even if you wanted to Elaine to be able to keep her close, like you need her because Nynaeve can't do anything on her own.
Yeah.
Yet. It's like if you get hurt or whatever. I mean, other people will heal her, but imagine just like they need each other. They need each other. And they've already established that relationship, and yeah. So yeah, I'm looking for like Elaine. I know can sniff things out. Nynaeve is not a person I associate with subtlety, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we know Elaine is staying. Her brothers are staying as well to start their warder training, which is cool. I didn't know that the boys do warder training.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, and I laughed so hard when she was like, "The novices will never recover." They're getting their backs blown out on a nightly basis.
Do they have like Aes Sedai birth control?
I wonder.
Because I imagine they're not having babies in the tower.
No, nope. They have to sneak out for that, but like maybe that's
They
part of
just
the
like
Yellow Aja's job.
they do like an egg removal weave.
Or like
plan,
maybe
a
not a
plan
weave,
B
but
weave.
but a shield.
Ooh.
Maybe they shield the ovaries.
Oh, okay. I like that. Well, Elida's staying too. So we'll see what she gets into.
It's just like, what do you do if you are Suan? Do you keep her? Do you bring her close and be like, all right, listen, we know, I know that there's a history, we've had a rivalry, and now that you're staying here, and that the little conference that Elida and Morgaze had talking about, well, no, nobody's saying anything, like everybody's keeping hush hush, and the fact that they gave us this little tidbit of information means that something really really bad is going on here, so you have to tell her now, I guess.
And they don't know which questions to ask directly
Yeah.
because they don't know what's being hid. So they can't be like, is there a Black Aja? You
No.
know, because they
Yeah.
don't even know that that's what it is.
Like how I mean, I guess the question is how did you find out there was a dark friend in the tower?
Well, they know because Elaine got kidnapped by her.
Right, right, right. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily mean there's a Black Aja. It means that there was a dark friend.
I need you to put on your lawyer brain and like come up with the right question.
Come up with the right questions.
Yeah. This person is on the witness stand.
Did Leandrin have accomplices that helped her
Mm,
kidnap? But the answer would be no,
the answer would be no.
because they didn't help her kidnap.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
Are you concerned that there may be other dark friends? The answer would be yes, but that doesn't
Answer.
mean Black Aja.
Oh man, it's so sticky. I love it.
I love how they can twist words. It really is like a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
if you just ask things and you frame things, if you ask things the right way and if you frame things the right way, you can really dodge around the truth without actually lying.
Mm-hmm. Aes Sedai Esquire.
Yes.
Huh. How fun.
What other questions could Elida ask without having this background information? Because, like, we know what to ask.
Yeah.
But from the outside, what else do you ask to kind of get to the bottom of this?
Whew, I don't know.
Is
I'm
the
gonna have to
tower
think on
still in
that.
danger? That's an easy one to say yes to,
Yeah, that is an
because you
easier
don't know
one.
if there are other dark friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she'd have to outright ask, is the Black Aja real? But what would make her ask that?
Yeah. Nothing. I can't think of anything. And if she is a dark friend and part of the Black Aja, she wouldn't want to out herself.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if I were her, my question would just like not related to like figuring this out. It'd be like, how can I help? How can I be helpful to you? Because my loyalties are with my sisters, but they're also to this crown.
Mm-hmm.
And, and you know that. You know
Mm-hmm.
that. That's why I'm here. Um, yeah. I'm curious to see how their relationship develops. Mm, so good. Bye bye, Tower.
Bye bye, Tower. Let's go to the Two Rivers.
The two rivers. Can we talk about Loyal?
I love Loyal.
Just
Can we
like
talk about Loyal and his heatless curls? No? It looks like
yeah,
he
no,
got
let's
them
go for
refreshed. It's
it.
not a twist out. Those are rod curls.
Those are rod curls. I mean, maybe he just sits every night and just like, he is a builder.
He is a builder, but it's
He's
like
a
they've been
builder.
refreshed since last season. So now that he hasn't been kidnapped and then on a boat for a month and
He
all that
sleeps with
stuff.
a bonnet, Tanya.
He finally got his hair done, and I'm happy
Yeah.
for that. I love
In the
that for him.
city. And he sleeps with a
Yes,
bonnet every night.
yeah, his
Yeah.
curls are popping.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that co-wash is is really helpful. Imagine that's like in his little satchel of things. He's like, wait, with his curl with his curl activator.
The curl refresher.
Things you'll never hear on other podcasts about this show.
They travel by Waygate. He uses a leaf thingy to press into it. Much easier way to travel, he says. I'm like, why didn't we do this to start with? And that is how they do it in the books. So when last season when they traveled through or whatever season when they traveled through the Waygates, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, they're not gonna do like the leaf thing because that was why she needed an Ogier was to push the leaf thing and it opens it up.
Oh, it's
And
like a little
so
key.
yeah, like a little key that only Ogiers have.
Uh-huh. What happens if you lose it?
I don't
That
know.
was my concern. I'm like, that looks like it gets easily lost. Like, I save myself like half an hour a day because I put my keys in the same place every day, and
Mm-hmm.
like even if like say I'm about to leave the house, if I take them down before I'm walking out, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot something. The panic that I experience when I look up on the wall and they're not there, and I'm like, they're just like on my side table or something. Um, so yeah, where do you keep this leaf thing? But then we find out that like he's getting sick or something, which makes me worry.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
more he stays away from the steading, the
yeah.
worse it gets. Actually, that reminds me of in Black
Yeah.
Sun.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something else.
Oh, no, in Black Sun, there's this like mermaid type woman who the further away from the ocean she gets, the sicker she gets, and so she starts drinking this
Mm.
like salt water, like seaweed type
Pickle
tea.
juice.
Yeah, like this like
Sea
mixture to
moss.
like mimic the ocean so that she doesn't get so sick.
Mm.
So the longing.
It reminds me of, I believe it's in Star Trek where they have to, I forgot who has to go back to their planet like every so often. Um,
Mm.
or that, it reminds me of man, the Amok season where in the original series where Spock has to go back because he's basically like ovulating.
Do you think we'll see a steading since it's been mentioned
I hope
about Loyal
so.
needing to go back? Maybe they'll have
I
to travel through one.
Yeah. Like maybe like they all split up and cuz the party's getting split up and maybe he has to go. And then we can see more Ogiers, which I would love to. Are there lady Ogiers? What do they look like? Are their
Yeah,
curls
I'm
even
pretty
better?
sure Loyal mentioned having a mother. Or maybe that's
Oh.
just from the books. I can't remember. Sometimes I get
Mm.
mixed up.
Yeah, I want to meet them. So yeah, I hope so. I feel like that's probably like a season 4.5 thing.
Hmm. Yeah, because maybe they'll have to travel to a steading for some reason, and then we'll find out steading rules and like what that actually means. Because obviously there's something magical about it.
Yeah.
So they get to the two rivers. Poor Perrin has his flashbacks. Because, the last
Mm-hmm.
time he was there was when the town was massacred.
Yep.
And we see Egwene's mom, who is so confused.
She's so cute and tiny.
She's
I love
adorable.
her. I just want to like rock her in my arms. And I love her face because she's like, here you have the Ogier giving the standard greeting, and then
She
you
was like,
have the
ugh.
Aiel, the shield maidens giving the spear maidens giving the same thing, like this elaborate hello, and like out of respect. And she's just like, you could have just said what's up.
Yeah, like she's looking at this Ogier and she's like, ugh, what is that? Because none of them have ever seen an Ogier before.
Yeah.
It's not like they have picture books. And then like these Aiel women who like are not quite legend, but like people don't see Aiel in the two
No.
rivers, and then they
No.
give this like, we ask leave to protect your home, and she's like, okay. Like it's like
Like,
what
what do
just
you do with
happened?
that?
The two rivers has changed, and white cloaks are there.
What cooks are there? That made me so nervous when they rode by. But also, I, you know what? I can't remember if this is before or after where, or no, in the last episode where Maureen was like, "Listen, the homecoming that you think that you're gonna get by going back to the Two Rivers, it is not gonna happen, because you can't go home again, as the old saying goes." And, ooh man, like for Perrin to come back in. And like I don't know what he thought was gonna happen. Maybe he was like, "Oh my God, here comes Perrin, and he's brought Aiel with him and an Ogier. Like, look at this. He's a legend. He literally brought back things of myth with him."
Right.
And no, that's not what he gets. You're like, we gotta fucking put you in. Like, how you guys should have came when it was dark.
They
What are
said you
you
killed a
doing?
guy,
He's like,
which
I
he
did.
did.
He did.
And
I killed a man.
the guy's son knows he's two rivers, which is how the white cloaks got to the two rivers.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause remember, he kept calling him two rivers.
Two Rivers. I missed him. He was cute.
He was kind of cute in a smug sort of way.
Hmm.
Well, Alana and Maxim are also there. Why do you think they went to the two rivers? Do you think it's just because nobody would think to look for them there?
I think so. I think so. I don't think they expected to. But just like, where else do you go? You can't go back to Farm.
No.
You know.
Well, they were never in Foam.
I know, but like that wouldn't be a place that I would run to.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, the Two Rivers would be the place to go. Um, and they're there, but they look like they have not had it easy.
Well, they fought Trollocs, and there's no other
Mm-hmm.
Aes Sedai there to heal Alana.
Yeah.
That's why they usually, that's why Moraine said they usually travel in pairs.
Yeah. She's just scarred up, which I like. Gives her character.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make me want to bang her any less. I'm into it.
The White Cloaks are serving some purpose because they are protecting the town from the Trollocs.
They just keep coming.
And it's like, why do the Trollocs keep coming there if they left?
Yeah. And also,
Well, maybe
what are
because
they looking for? Or what do they have that they want? Because it sounds like they were just stealing food at first.
right, because they said they took away animals, but then they started taking people.
Maybe they're eating them too.
Yeah, I think they're eating them too. They were eating
Yeah.
them when they killed them in season one.
Yeah. So, food source. It's like it's like a shark swimming really close to the shore, you know?
Yeah, I guess the question is why keep the Trollocs over there if those five have left? Is
Yeah.
it just in case they come back?
Who knows? But, we talked about this last time. It's like Trollocs have language and they communicate with each other. So, are we going to see Trolloc culture? I would love that. Like, who do they send on hunting parties? Do we all go?
They straight
Does
up
somebody
talk
say
in the
back to
books.
like, yeah? Does somebody like season the meat while they're out with a pan? They're like, all right, fresh meat. Yeah.
Well, Perrin is a problem right now.
Karen is a problem right now. And, we just got here, but y'all cannot stay. You have to go.
And only one person addressed his eyes. It was Maxim.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're saying you're a dark friend. And Maxim's like, maybe it's the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I can kind of see that, Perrin,
Yeah.
why they would think that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go. Mistress Elvire wants to help them sneak out. And he's like, nah, I want to stay. I love also that the Aiel, I can never remember which one's Bane and which one's Chiad, so forgive me. But they're like, why don't you fight back? Like
Yeah.
that's, and she's like, with what? Sheep shears? And she's just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're
You
right.
right. You right. And it's like, even if they wanted to fight back, let's say that they give them some training in like spear basics, they can't do that because the white cloaks are there.
Yeah,
Because who are you preparing to fight?
right. But and again, the White Cloaks are also protecting them from Trollocs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are serving a purpose that they need.
What kind of bleach do they use?
The White Cloaks?
Yeah.
They probably just keep switching out cloaks.
Like, someone's doing that laundry though.
Yeah.
Huh.
But they're never dingy.
Lemon juice and vinegar.
Lemon juice and vinegar. Well, Perrin offers to turn himself in. Which I was like, Perrin, they'll just kill you,
Don't
dummy.
be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
And not will they just kill you? Like, do you remember what happened last time you got into the hands of the White Cloaks? They didn't just kill you. They
Right.
tortured.
They torture.
And I'm
Child
sure there's
Valda
like
is still around.
still around. Maybe with a healthy fear of dogs, but like still around.
Oh yeah, they didn't encounter any wolves.
No. So are there wolves out?
There are wolves in that area.
They have to be because there are sheep.
Yeah, they mention it like in the very, very first episode. Tam Althor mentions like there have been more wolf sightings.
Yeah.
So we know that there are wolves in those mountains.
Yeah, and he needs a replacement for Hopper.
He does need a replacement for poor Hopper.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Hopper.
I watched that scene again, I guess earlier, and I just like it was so sad, and it made me think like, you're not gonna go hold your dog, your wolf, like while it's dying. Like, I know that you're in shock, but like, look at how Alana scrambled to Ivan. Like, that's what I would have done. But I'm an animal lover.
I thought it was very reckless of him to kill Bornhold for that, though.
He was in a rage.
I know, but it's
He
like,
was in a rage.
I guess because I was seeing it from Bornhold's perspective.
Yeah.
We're all fighting together against Ascension, the enemy, and then a wolf comes out and attacks one of us
Yeah.
being like, including Perrin.
Yeah.
A wolf comes and attacks one of us, so of course I'm going to kill that wolf. So like, I get why Daddy Bornhold killed the wolf. I don't want to hold that against him. He was trying to save a soldier who's fighting against the enemy, the same enemy. He probably thought Perrin was going to get attacked too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know about the wolf connection.
Nope. You're like, where the fuck did this wolf come from?
Why the fuck is there a wolf here? Like, there are no woods.
Yeah. At least a swift kick to the stomach with a steel tipped boot,
Something.
At the very least.
Something.
R.I.P. Hopper anyway.
Yeah, rest in peace, Hopper. Nice hat, Moiraine.
Clearly, they haven't invented SPF 6000 yet.
No. I loved it. This floppy hat keeping the sun out of her face. Like, when did she pick that up?
How quaint.
It was like the floppiest hat.
Dude.
She just like nicked it off some farmer.
I was going to say she pulled it off a scarecrow on the way there.
Yeah. So they're hiking through the spine of the world.
I love
We knew
that.
that getting to the Isle Waste was not going to be a matter of like a way gate or
No,
just like a quick trip.
no. They're definitely on a journey. And I have to say about this entire episode, like getting out into the into the raw lands was really beautiful. I meant to look up where they filmed a lot of this, but I
The
didn't
two
get a chance.
rivers, when they come out of the way gate and we kind of see the mountains and
Hmm.
where Manetherin once stood, that was really beautiful too. I do want to look into
I'm like, is it
where
New
they filmed
Zealand?
that. I don't know. It's always New Zealand though,
It's
right?
always New Zealand. Hold on.
Oh, I wonder if it'll be like with Game of Thrones where like these cities started doing tours.
Oh, you know what? Czech Republic, probably.
Hmm.
It's the Czech Republic, Morocco, Italy, and the Canary Islands. Um, yeah, just beautiful scenery. My only beef with that scene, or with the scenes and the change in landscape, had nothing to do with the scenes with Rand and everything to do with the scenes with Perrin. I'm like, what the fuck is this music? This
It
music
was
was so
weird music.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
It
It
felt
was
so
jarring.
wrong.
I found the music very jarring.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one,
No,
because
it wasn't just you. It
I was
stood
like, I
out
want
to
to
me.
skip this.
It stood
Like,
out
what
to
are
me
we?
in a bad way.
Yeah. We talk about music being like, the unseen character so many times. And this one, it didn't hide in the background at
No.
all. It just made it. I was like, what? Who?
It made me think of like a store.
A store, or like a shitty club, or just like a shitty lounge. I just was not having a good time with it at all.
It made
And
me think of a
and
store where you like buy oils, but like they want to still be kind of hip, so they don't want it to be like Enya.
there's like in 3 packs of incense for like $3 or something.
Like it made me think like if Hot Topic sold essential oils.
Oh my god.
That's what that made me think of.
Ew. I what an incredibly district dis what an incredibly descriptive assessment, because I I could feel it in my soul. I could feel it in my soul. And of course that would be where, like, the Spear Maiden shop. They're
Yeah,
like, "Oh shit, we've never been in here
that's where they
before."
get that black eyeshadow. Do they wake up every day
Oh
and
my
like redo
god.
their makeup, or are they just not washing? Never mind. That's whatever. This is like, are they waking up every day and reapplying black eyeshadow?
I bet it would be part of the thing. Yeah. You need it to be fresh to reflect.
Mm.
I like how they were saying too. They're like, "What
Smells
is that? It
clean.
smells clean. Still wet, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it."
Well, Moiraine and co, they're camping.
Mhm.
Rand is practicing the sword. Avienda is disgusted by the sword. Thinks it's
Yes.
stupid.
I like watching Lan
I like watching
and
Lan.
Rand.
Stop right there.
I love watching them do their katas, though,
Mm.
going through it. Because for me, it was such a contrast from Gawain and Galad. Like, this is not showy. This is taking a lot of focus. It's a meditation. There's a lot of respect for the weapons and the tradition. And I needed to see that. We know that Rand has some shit going through his mind that is really hard for him to talk about, and he doesn't really know. But you can see that he's got a relationship with Lan that he's never going to have with Moiraine, and that he can't really have with Egwene either.
Yeah. Egwene has bruising that Moiraine previously healed, and so now there's this worry that Rand has been abusing her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought at first that the bruising was from her like fighting herself in her sleep,
I did
because you
too.
like trying to get out of the collar in her dream.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned that that's not it.
Somebody's
She's
behind
being
this.
haunted. She is being haunted by a jealous Landfair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a bitch. She
What
called her a
a
doe-eyed
bitch.
cow.
A doa, and she's like, "Oh, you draw the line at name calling."
Yeah.
A doe-eyed cow. Like, how dare you? How dare you? And they're not even fucking, like they're having issues with it. We know that Rena was fucking her up, and we
Yeah.
saw the horrible, horrible things that she experienced. But like seeing it in the flashbacks, makes it even more traumatizing. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that she's got to live with in her brain forever. Whether
Right,
it is
because it
like,
was it was more than just like turning on the collar.
yeah,
It was beatings and choking and like full on torture all
bleeding into
day,
her
all
mouth.
night. Oh, that was
Wasn't that gross?
disgusting. That was so disgusting.
It's so funny because like on one of the dating apps that was on, this guy's profile was like this and like spit in my mouth, blah blah blah.
Ugh.
If you know, you know. And I was like,
I
yeah,
gotta draw the line at spitting in the
no,
mouth. Can't do it.
yeah, no.
Like there will be violence. It's
Mm.
not like, oh, I'm just not into it. Like there will be violence if you try that.
Yeah, I mean, I gag when I just see that's when I come across spit on the sidewalk.
Same.
I'm like, ugh. Like, why
Same.
would you do that? Spit in the gutter if you must.
And people are always like, oh, well, if you're kissing, it's kind. No, it's not the same thing.
No, because I hate sloppy wet kisses with a fucking passion.
Yeah.
Do
Like I
not
don't
drool
want a
in my
mouthful of
face.
somebody else's saliva.
Blech.
Ugh.
Now you know how we really feel.
Lenfish trying to give Rand wet dreams. He's not having it. At the same time, she's torturing the shit out of Egwene, but it's showing how powerful she is that she's able to visit two dreams at the same time and have that much action in them.
Look at what she did to them on the night of the shrooms.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's a Forsaken.
Yeah, she's extremely powerful in the dream world, so that's something to really worry about because she could kill Egwene if she really wants to.
She could. And everybody has to sleep.
Everybody has to sleep. It's like Freddy Krueger.
It's like Freddy. That's exactly what I was thinking.
She's like Freddy Krueger. Egwene gets out of her dream and enters another dream where she sees an Aiel woman who says, "You're not supposed to be here."
Is it a dream or is it a vision?
It was in a dream. She was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That would have scared the shit out of me. Like, I went from like being tortured to being, where the fuck is this? Obviously, I'm in the Aiel Waste. There's nothing here. And then there's this woman who looks at me and looks me dead in the eye and is like, who let you in?
Yeah. So creepy. I'd be afraid to sleep every night.
Dude. It's like Matt. Like, this is why Matt is drinking all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Huh. Well.
Overall feelings about the episode?
I like that Rand is trying to comfort her and is like, listen, I know you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. It's okay. I've seen terrible things too. And we're gonna be all right, but things are gonna be really tough. We have to say that they do encounter the woman from the dream.
Yes, when they arrive.
And Avianda's like, who the fuck? Who did you guys tell we were here?
Yes.
And they're like, nobody, bitch. We've been here with you the whole time. I mean, it made me excited about the next episode, which I've only seen half of because I was like, I have to go to bed
Okay.
the night that I watched all three or tried. But ready to see intrigue, ready to see what Morghese does when she goes home, ready to see more of Elida, ready to watch the two least sneakiest sneak around and try to figure out what's going on in the tower and root out dark friends, and Black Aja. And I can't wait to see what happens when Elaine goes through the arches. Like, this I am into. Like, Egwene, we already know the bad things that have happened to her, but we don't know much about Elaine's life previously or what she would really be afraid of.
You don't think another Arches episode would drag things down?
We just need to see like one of the trials through completion. Because if she's the daughter heir and she wants to be a full Aes Sedai, what are the, like, is her not being able to accomplish that scary enough? Is it losing her family when she says that everybody's got their own plans and plots going on and those are just the ones that you know about? So I would be really curious to know what scares her.
Who's their father?
Apparently he doesn't matter.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's just somebody to provide seed.
Mm-hmm.
I like the episode a lot. I thought it was really good. It wasn't as action packed as episode one, but I don't need that much stress all at the same time.
Oh my
We do
God,
need
girl,
some
yes.
storytelling.
We do need some storytelling, and I think that's what I liked about it, because it's not that it wasn't there weren't any battles and there weren't action in that way, but there
A
were
lot happened.
a lot happened, a lot of seeds were planted, and in
Mhm.
that way it was very rich.
Mhm. I
So
agree.
yeah. I mean, and I feel like because Perrin wants to stay there, that he might force an encounter with the White Cloaks.
Well, it's nice. It is nice that they're split up, so now we can see different parts of the world all at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely looking forward to getting into the IO Waste and seeing where they live and how they live.
Yeah, I just like to see people's personalities kind of develop, because we learn the most about them when they are split up.
Mhm.
Who's in charge of them now that Alana is in the picture? Is she in charge? Like, what's the hierarchy? Is Perrin like, is she like, no, Perrin, don't do this? And Perrin's like, fuck you, I'm a wolf on the low. Like, what happens? Do they stay with them? Because it seems to me it would make sense for Alana to join Perrin and
Protect the two rivers.
protect the two rivers. Well, protect the two rivers, but like, the White Cloaks seem to be doing just fine. Because I don't think Perrin is going to stay. And if I was Alana, I'm not trying to stay here either.
Yeah, I don't know what Alana's plan is.
Maybe they just wanted to go grieve somewhere.
Mm. She needs to be healed, though.
I guess she does.
It's not like they have sending stones.
They don't, and it's not like, and I don't think Perrin knows where Rand went, because that was a discussion that happened
No, he
after.
doesn't know. They think he's going to tear.
Yeah, maybe that's where they head to.
Hmm. Well, I guess, yeah, it would make sense. Everybody ends up in tear again. Like the gang basically comes back
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah.
They all end up in tear. Maybe, maybe this season, maybe next season.
Yeah.
We don't know how much time we're going to spend in the Isle Waste and in
Because
the
we
two
only have
rivers.
5 episodes left. Well, I'm super happy again. I'm super happy that we got to talk about this again. My heart is full. My cheeks hurt again. I'm smiling. Yeah.
I've been Tanya.
I'm always Nikki.
See you for episode 3.
For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at 1,000 Eyes in One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are 1,000 Eyes in One on Instagram and Facebook, 1,000 Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.